Good evening, members of the Community Relations Commission. My name is Albert Ramirez. I'm the Assistant Director for the Housing Department, and I'm presenting today on behalf of Brenda Lopez, the Interim Housing Director. The item before you today is an update on the Housing Department's efforts to combat housing discrimination in the city of Oxnard. One of the Housing Department's key programs is supporting the enforcement of federal and state fair housing laws that make it illegal for people and entities that provide housing from discriminating against or harassing tenants, homeowners, residents, their guests, and home buyers because of a protected characteristic. Protected characteristics can include, but are not limited to, gender, race, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, citizenship, immigration, status, or religion. These laws apply to most providers of housing and services related to housing, such as landlords, tenant screening companies, real estate agents, home sellers, builders, lenders, and housing authorities. In an effort to adhere to these laws, the City of Oxnard has partnered with the County of Ventura to contract with the Housing Rights Center, also known as HRC, for fair housing services. Annually, the County of Ventura contracts with HRC for approximately $94,280, with the City of Oxnard contributing roughly $25,548 towards the contract using funding from its Community Development Block Grant program. Under the county contract, HRC provides three core services to all of Ventura County, including the City of Oxnard. One of their services is Fair Housing Client Services, where they offer a toll-free phone number for fair housing inquiries. They investigate alleged cases of fair housing law violations, and when needed, seek remedial action. They also provide outreach, where they prepare, reproduce, and distribute flyers and materials, coordinate public service announcements and advertisements, deliver presentations to landlords, property managers, and tenants. And lastly, they offer training to government agencies and affordable housing providers staff on fair housing laws. For the period of July 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, HRC assisted 9 Oxnard residents with inquiries of discrimination and counseled 48 residents on various tenant issues. Of the discrimination inquiries, only 2 cases were open, with one being closed for inconclusive evidence and the other still under investigation. The City of Oxnard's partnership with the County of Ventura and its contract with HRC continues to play a vital role in combating housing discrimination. Another item the Housing Department is working on is a proposed tenant anti-harassment ordinance. In recent months, the Oxnard City Council has received testimony from numerous tenants expressing concerns about harassment and retaliation they've endured due to complaints they filed with the city's code enforcement and/or rent stabilization and just cause eviction divisions. In response to the testimony, City Council directed the Housing Department to bring forward a tenant anti-harassment ordinance to address these issues plaguing the community. On April 29, 2025, the Housing Department brought forth the first reading of the tenant anti-harassment ordinance for City Council's consideration, which passed on a 6-1 vote. Under the proposed ordinance, prohibited harassment can include, but is not limited to, the following: reduction or elimination of housing services, failure to complete repairs maintenance, abuse of the right of entry into the premises, engaging in discrimination, refusal to acknowledge or accept rental payments, inquiring as to the immigration or citizenship status of a tenant, retaliating, threatening, or interfering with a tenant's right to engage in political activities, retaliating against and/or threatening a tenant for inquiry or seeking assistance from a government or social services agency. Violations under the proposed ordinance are a misdemeanor and may be criminally prosecuted by the city. Based on the experience of other jurisdictions with similar ordinances, only the most egregious cases are prosecuted at violations of tenant anti-harassment laws. The ordinance also allows an aggrieved tenant, the city, or an organization to pursue civil action for damages and the recovery of attorney fees. The ordinance would apply citywide to all residential tenancies. Adoption of the proposed ordinance would be ineffective without adequate staffing and resources to enforce the ordinance. Based on research with other cities to launch a citywide program, at least 2 positions are necessary: one partially dedicated assistant city attorney and one fully dedicated housing investigator. The 2 positions necessary to enforce the proposed ordinance were requested as part of the fiscal year 25-26 budget. If the positions are approved, staff will return to City Council on June 26, 2025 for a second reading of the proposed ordinance, which, if approved, would cause the ordinance to be in effect 30 days thereafter. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.